My name's Sean Wilson. I'm an actor, a self-taught chef and a proud northerner. I've gone from Coronation Street to producing award-winning Lancashire cheese via the region's finest Michelin-starred kitchens. Northern grub is my passion, and I like to think that I know everything there is to know about it.
Oh, God, a bit bonkers!
I'm going on a culinary adventure.
This is one hell of a moolie.
A reet grand northern tour with one very tasty aim: to discover the heritage.
There you go.
These look old.
250 years old.
Well, OK.
And phenomenal flavours of the North's favourite foods.
That's one hell of a Yorkshire pudding.
My journey takes me the length and breadth of our greatest treasure, the North.
Oh, my Gideon.
From Manchester to Middlesbrough, I'll be meeting the people who are keeping our traditional grub going.
Lovely pork pies here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll also be cooking out of my comfort zone as I take on some great challenges.
You can't swing a bloody cat in here.
Tell you what, that's quite attractive from behind, Sean.
Pitting myself against the best in the business, I'll produce the North's finest fare in kitchens that would try the patience of a saint.
It's like being in bloody prison. Now, fire. A bit off more than I can chew.
It's time to crack open my great Northern Cookbook.
This is proper food with proper people, and I'm proud of it.
I'm kicking off my culinary adventures in Yorkshire, heading east to the 45 miles of stunning coastline set against the backdrop of the North York Moors, to one of the homes of the fishing industry in the northeast. My destination is Whitby, a seaside town and port situated on the mouth of the River Esk. I'm here to roll up my sleeves and get to work. My challenge? To catch and then cook the most popular takeaway dish in the north, fish and chips, with a side order of mushy peas. This is going to be fish at its freshest, from sea to plate in less than 10 hours. And then my slap-up northern fish supper is going to be judged by 2 award-winning experts. Can I win their approval? Now, my knowledge of all things nautical is limited to the adventures of Captain Pugwash, but my gut tells me that working a shift on a fishing trawler is going to bear little or no resemblance to life on the Black Pig. I'm about to climb aboard the fishing vessel Abbey Lee. Its skipper, John, has been fishing these waters for around 40 years, and he captains one of the few trawlers that still set sail regularly from the harbour. Whitby Port was once a thriving fishing village. In its heyday in the 1930s, it would have been teeming with trawlers. But over the last 20 years, it's been hit hard by EU fishing regulations and is now struggling to survive.
Yeah, Reese. He's on board, mate. Thank you very much, cheers. So what we're looking for tonight then, John?
Cod haddock, plaice, lemon sauce, whitings,
Fantastic.
any sort of round fish.
Yeah? Well, let me just tell you, normally when I go fishing, I bring a bit of luck.
Good. Let's go then.
All right, come on, mate.
Unfortunately, a bit of luck's the only thing I'm bringing, as I don't have a clue what I'll be getting up to in the next few hours. But luckily the crew do, and they take me straight out to the fishing grounds. Woohoo! Normally the Abbey Lee's crew would spend days at sea in search of their catch.
Oh, well, here we go. Coming out of Whitby. Lovely, calm sea. We've got 8 hours trawling. So looking forward to it.
The boat is known as a sidewinder and is a bottom trawler, which is pretty self-explanatory.
Good lad.
It's hard graft and long hours, and the crew's pay is dependent on the amount of fish they catch.
So it's the chains that take you down then? Yeah. Wow, that's going down. That's going proper down.
Once on the seabed, these circular pieces of metal called trawl doors keep the mouth of the net open to catch the fish.
Some way that.
And strict fishing regulations mean that every catch counts.
We only have 100 days a year, so we've got to use them wisely.
Oh, is that from the government?
Yes, that's
oh,
all we're allowed.
Oh, right,
100.
so it's not like 7 days a week, 6 days a week?
No,
Oh, right,
none
okay.
of that. And we're on strict quotas,
Right, okay.
all the way around.
Right.
Strict mesh sizes. But we've been towing round here for the last 3.5 weeks, and we've done all right.
Right, there's plenty of fish out here then?
Oh yeah, we've done fine. Yeah.
So, is there a future in this game? Because obviously things have changed.
I'm hoping so.
Right.
I don't want to give in if I can help it.
No.
I've always thought if us were hung on the longest, we'll be looked after. But it isn't looking like that,
Right.
you know, present. But I'm still here, still batting.
And how many boats, let's say, in the 70s were going out of there?
Oh, 20, 25, 27 trawlers.
Right, okay. And how many go out now?
There's us. There's a little one you just see go out before us.
Aye.
And there's a potter trawler. All the big ones, what are owned by Whitby people, all work away.
It's coming up to midnight and all hands are on deck, including mine. The nets have been out for around 4 hours and now it's time to reel them in. To make this trip start paying, we need to have caught over a ton of fish.
Right, let's see what we got. Well, I've never seen sea fish so fresh. Cool, isn't it? The bottom feeders, you see. And that's where he's been dredging on the bottom. What else have we got? Little queenie scallops. They'll be so sweet. Little gurnard, is that gurnard? Oh yeah. Bottom feeding, hey! A bottom feeding gurnard. Gorgeous colours. See how so flat it is on the bottom there? Lovely looking fish. And that's about the size of it, Cocker. I got you.
With a little help from me, the nets are thrown out for the second time. The first catch was so poor that below deck the mood is somewhat subdued.
The more you catch, the more you get.
And the less you catch, the less you get.
Well, obviously you have your expenses to come out of what you catch first. So obviously your expenses come out first and then you get your wages.
Jeez Louise, so that one we've just had was a bit...
It's no good.
No.
Waste of time.
And to make matters worse, there's another problem. One that could stop us fishing altogether.
Pin's gone on one of the links.
A vital pin's fallen out of the trawl door, rendering it useless. It's 1 in the morning and we're 3 miles out at sea. Anything that breaks out here has to be fixed out here as well.
You know when something's gone wrong on here, don't you?
But our luck's in, and the crew have managed to find a replacement pin that fits. Problem solved.
One new pin. Good lad.
The trawling can begin again. By 5 o'clock in the morning, it looks as though the boys' handy bit of metal work has paid off. Our second catch looks much more promising.
So how do you all get on then, bitch?
We all get on all right. It's all right when we're having a laugh.
Yeah? No
Just
falling
stop it
out,
here.
Ben?
No, not really. Can do though when you've been out here for a while.
What, like, what's 5 days do you go out for?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just 5 days.
Check that out.
The dinosaur, that.
Woo! Look at that!
This handsome-looking lobster weighs in at ½ a kilo and will fetch about £5 when sold at market.
That one there. That's got our breakfast written all over it.
Down below, the fish are packed in ice to keep them fresh.
So when you go down your fish market in the morning, this is what's happened before you get up.
Now that we have enough fish to sell at market, it's time to up anchor and head back to port. It's a beautiful Whitby morning, and all that's left for the boys to do is to offload their fishy cargo. I, on the other hand, have to tackle the second part of my challenge, to cook some of the catch for one of the fish market's regular customers, the magpie calf. It opened in 1940 to sell fish suppers. Today it's still feeding over 1,000 visitors a day, and I'm here to challenge them at their own game and discover what Chef Paul and owner Ian think of my take on this seaside special. Well, it's time for fish and chips, but my fish and chips with mushy peas. The easiest thing in the world. What I'm looking for is a nice thick batter, a bit like double cream. They use beef stripping here at the Magpie, and that's what I like to use. First time I ever tasted it was in Yorkshire. Never done any different since. Up north it's used not just for taste, but also because it reaches a higher temperature and helps seal the fish in the batter. So these fish have got 8 minutes at 185, very hot. And what it should do now, the nice cold batter should just bubble up. See what I mean? I always double cook the chips, and you'll find they've got a real nice crunch, the same as the fish. Right, fish is done. Mushy peas. Now I'm going to put a little bit of mint in. I like a little bit of mint in my mushy peas. You can't have fish and chips up north without mushy peas. Although the origins of this traditional delicacy remain shrouded in mystery. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. The moment of truth has arrived, and it's time to dish up. Will my fish platter pass the taste test? Fish and chips, a la great Northern Cookbook. Here we go, gentlemen.
Right, thank you.
Crinkle cut chips, my mushy peas, battered cod.
Looks good. Right. Right. Detect a hint of mint in there.
Oh yeah, I like to put a bit of mint in. Who remembers crinkle cut chips from when they were younger?
I remember there used to be, it was a Saturday treat, always fish and chips, and it was always crinkle cut.
Same for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to my gran's on the bus. I used to watch the Saturday matinee, 12 o'clock, it was always on. Black and white cowboy film.
Not as old as that, I'm not.
So, what do you think of it? Marks out of 10?
Marks out of 10. I would give it a 7.5.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that from a professional, that's awesome.
Yes, well, I liked it, so I'll give you an 8.
Well,
Yeah, really good.
thank you very much. I really appreciate it, you know. Two experts like yourselves, you know, that means a lot to me. Well, that went well. Even after a 15-hour shift of fishing and cooking, I'm feeling A1, which might just be a clue of where we're going next. I'm heading along the longest numbered road in the UK, the A1. Over 410 miles, it roughly follows the Great North Road, the historic mail coach route linking London and Edinburgh. Talking of history, that's why I'm in this neck of the woods. I'm here to resurrect an old favourite. Now, you all know what I mean by offal, don't you? That's liver, hearts, lights, lungs, but it's all fallen out of favour. Offal used to be a big part of the working class staple diet in the north. They used to tuck into tripe, faggots and black pudding. Anything else was out of the price range. It was only the more well-to-do who could afford the prime cuts of meat. I'm off to the village of Long Horsley, which lies northeast of Morpeth, to meet a man who, like me, passionately believes that offal should make a comeback. Here I'll take on the challenge of converting a group of offal haters into card-carrying offal lovers.
It used to turn my stomach when we used to eat it when I was kids. We would cut it open, there would be tubes inside, just put me off.
This is Jimmy Bell. He's known around these parts as Jim the Landman. He and his family have been raising sheep in these fields for 400 years using traditional methods. And he's never happier than when he's up to his ears in offal in his farm butchery.
Anyway, I'll move this across and we'll have a bit look at,
Right,
at the rest of the...
Let's have a look at the offal.
At the offal.
It looks awfully nice.
Awfully nice. It is lovely, it's a treat. So you've got the liver on the bottom, then the 2 lungs, either side there.
I've had lamb's lungs.
They're good, actually. We make them into haggis. We
Oh,
put
do you?
the liver and the lungs and the heart all go in mixed up with spices and make our own haggis when it gets sort of more haggis-y sort of weather in about October time. And there, that's the sweetbread.
Oh, the sweetbread. Look at that. I like the sweetbread.
You like the sweetbread? Very popular.
But it's not the testicle,
It
as
isn't.
people think.
Exactly. Everybody thinks, oh, I'm not
It's
eating
pancreas,
sweetbread.
isn't it?
That's what it is, the pancreas, but that's in there.
But it's not that little gastronomic delicacy that most of us associate with offal. Normally it's liver, and that's because it was served up to us for school dinners, mainly because it was cheap and nutritious. Well, all I remember from liver from school is hard, and then you bite it and it's really crumbly and crummy inside. And I've got that feeling already.
Yeah.
I've gone back, I've regressed in time, Jim.
Yeah. Was that a bit of time ago, was it?
Yeah, I was, yeah. Historically here in the north, we made use of all the animal. I'm here to make an old Northumberland favourite from the 18th century called Love in Disguise. The romantic name was used to hide the true identity of this dish, stuffed lamb's heart.
It is heart-shaped.
Actually, that one is heart-shaped. Now there is the lamb's heart, and that's what we're focusing on. What's important about cooking with offal, for me, is the fact that you're using all the animal, and the fact that my grandma used to make it for me. In fact, it was the only thing that my grandma didn't used to crucify. This stuffing's all about French cooking. It's all about onions, garlic, wine. So, it's very kind of French flavour. Just cleaning out the ventricles, because that's what we're going to stuff. You've just got to be patient, and you just keep pushing in the stuffing, and it will give and it will open. And that will keep the stuffing in. Yep. Whack the lid on, 180 degrees. And where better to test the hearts than in the place that the offal haters learnt to hate them, their childhood school.
Just seeing valves when you cut things open, it's just not right. It's not natural. Being served kidney at school, it was like I would have rather eaten my own hand.
I do remember liver and onions. I didn't like it very much.
I had kidney in the pies and that before. Didn't like it.
Can I change their minds? By the look of it, it's going to be an uphill struggle. Bye everybody, dinner's up. It's been several years since this class tucked into a hearty meal, and they look a bit nervous.
Thank you very much, sir.
All about
Cheers.
the gravy.
Like being back in school.
There you go, enjoy.
Beautiful, thank you.
One chatterbox.
What do you think?
So what do you think of it then?
Certainly different than what I thought it would taste.
So,
But
you
nice,
like it?
Nice at the end
A
of
lot
the day,
more
definitely.
pleasant
Thought.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Because you were like, ooh,
Yeah.
weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So, the naughty table. What did you think then? Marks out of 10?
Oh, good 9.
Good 9. Well, agreed?
9.5.
9.5.
7, 8 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with probably about an 8.
Right,
Definitely.
okay. Great, I'll take that all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah.
But who now would have it next week if it was served up to you?
I wouldn't think twice about it, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody, hands up, please.
Yeah.
I think lamb's hearts have done rather well, don't you? Now, the moral of this story is, forget what you had at primary school. Times have changed. Offal is delicious. End of. For my next culinary challenge, I'm in West Yorkshire, where I intend to make a big impression on the locals. And when I say big, I mean it literally. I'm heading into Denby Dale in the Peak District, a small village with big ideas because the villagers have a fetish for making and baking stonkingly large pies. Denby sits on the River Dearne in Kirklees, West Yorkshire. Its inhabitants first started baking monster pies in 1788, and ever since then they've marked every big occasion with a big pie. There's even a book dedicated to their escapades. To commemorate Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee, the village went into a baking frenzy. Trouble was, their pie didn't quite turn out the way they planned. In 1887, they made a giant pie that ranks as one of the worst ever. And that's because, well, it was rank. And that very same spectacular failure blotted their pie-making copybook. And I think it's time to change history. Don't you? After cooking, the meat sat out in the sun for the whole day, and when the pie was cut open, the cooks found it was rotten. It smelt so bad, they buried it in a field. Now I want to rewrite history and turn their original Victorian recipe, including rabbits, hares and pigeons, from a failure into a 2.5-ton success. I'll then serve it as tradition dictates to the whole village. There's no way I can do this on my own, so I've asked local pie maker Andrew Hayes to call a meeting of volunteers in the village hall. So what we're trying to do, we're going to resurrect that pie. We're going to make that pie with the same amount of beef, the same amount of pork. We're going to be using pigeons, grouse, turkey, duck, you name it. It's the biggest culinary challenge I will probably ever have in all my life. But we don't have the oven capacity to make the pastries, okay? Which is where you, the community of Denby Dale, hopefully come in. What we're asking our volunteers to do is to make A4 sheets of pastry decorated in whichever way they like to form the lid of our prodigious pie. So, how many fellow gastronauts will be up for doing that? I will. Fantastic. Well, well, well. That's a great show of hands. Thank you. Big round of applause for that. Well done. Because you've really helped us out there. The people of Denby Dale have done me proud, and the uptake is phenomenal. Why is it better?
Because it's bigger.
Because it's bigger. Very good. Phase 2 of my mission is to source 1,200 kilos of meat and game. I've contacted local farmer Rob Copley, and he's moved heaven and earth to track down what I need. Whoa, Rob. Is this the meat?
This is about half of the meat. We've not prepared it all yet, but...
Wow.
50 rabbits, 35 pigeons.
No.
3 hares.
Well,
that's the one we've struggled with to get, but we managed to get them here.
There'll be hares today, gone tomorrow. Well done, because we're going to keep it genuine. We need hares for the pie.
Yep, genuine recipe.
Rob's also got me 10 grouse, 36 chicken, 63 kilos of turkey, and 21 ducks. Rob, I'm beginning to realise the enormity of this challenge.
It is a massive amount of meat.
Oh, I tell you what, it's going to be lush, this pie.
It's going to take some cooking. I'm looking forward to tasting it.
Well, thank you very much for everything.
No problem, it's been a pleasure.
Come on. I'm pretty chuffed. Rob's helped me source the biggest range of meat, poultry and game I've ever seen. I'm taking these ingredients to Andrew, who will be helping me cook it all up in his pie factory. Hey, mate.
Good man.
There you go. Have a gander at those geese. There you go. There you go.
Excellent.
The clock's ticking, but before we can cook, we've got to chop. And chop. And chop. And chop. There's enough meat here to feed an average family for a year. Or more.
So we'll just do breasts and legs.
You, breast or leg, man?
Leg every time.
Oh, yeah. Then with a mountain of sliced and diced meat ready for the pot and a new outfit, it's time to start cooking on an industrial scale.
So these wrap pans, just big frying pans, oil in, 50 kilos of mixed meat, stock, onions, fried off for about an hour. Then we take it over to these ovens, and it's in here for about 2 hours. Okay, so that's going to make the meat really succulent.
Yeah, open all the fibres.
Yeah, open it all up.
There's no time to spare. Here comes the first batch of meat.
Right. Right.
Next one. Let's crack on. After 2 hours in a roasting hot kitchen, we've only managed to brown about 1/3 of the ingredients. It's batch number 3, batch number 4. 14 more to go. Of course, once our giant quantity of meat is cooked, it's going to need a fitting receptacle.
No way. Wow. That'll do. Wow.
Which is why I've ordered an 8-foot pie dish.
Big old boy.
Oh, I'm all excited now. There we go. I name this dish Victoria.
After a ceremonial unveiling, we just need to work out how to get the dish off the truck.
That's massive.
Ads.
I'll cup this side, you cup the
Let's
other.
just see if we lift it. Come on, get your back into it.
That's the end of this series.
Are you really? 3, 2, 1?
Ready? 1, 2. No chance. No chance.
In the end, a forklift provides a sensible solution, but it's not the end of the story.
Okay.
I see this as the first problem of the day.
Agreed.
Because we've got to clean this.
Yeah.
But we haven't got a tap. There's no way of getting water out. We're going to have to put water in, we're going to have to put detergent in, and we're going to have to scrub it.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to go in there.
What about
I can't swim.
If we're going to get this dish truly clean, drastic measures are required.
Come on, needs must. Under crackers time.
No need for that.
Whoa!
No need for that, I'm telling you.
Tell you what, that's quite attractive from behind, Sean.
Is it?
After a good hour's graft, our efforts leave the dish so clean you could, well, eat your dinner off it. With the pie dish ready and waiting outside, all that's left is to finish cooking the meat.
That'll do it.
The Victorian version of this pie had to be buried because it was rancid. If we want our pie to succeed where theirs failed, the meat has to be kept at over 65 degrees.
Okay.
Heating a dish this size has never been done before, but we think we've found a solution. Paella burners.
So this is just a test, just to see if the paella things are working. Looks good.
We've got no idea if it's going to work. All we know is if it doesn't, our pie is going in the bin. Now, it's time for the first batch of meat.
That looks lovely.
This is going to be one hell of a pie.
PJ Proby.
Temperature 80.3.
We're due in the village at 3 o'clock to unveil the pie, and we've got just 1 hour to empty 18 batches of meat and 1/3 of a ton of spuds. All whilst keeping it at the right temperature.
78.3.
This is the stuff nightmares are made of.
Oh no, what a day.
Back in the day, the whole village would have been involved in cooking the batches of meat and pastry, and in my 21st century version, things are no different.
Yeah, anything like that. Here you go. Yeah.
Villagers are keeping up their end of the bargain, and it's time for me to keep mine.
Yeah, get in there.
We've managed to get all the filling into the dish.
There you go.
But the temperature of the meat is dropping dangerously low. If it falls below 65 degrees, our pie won't be safe to eat. And to make matters worse, we're running the risk of missing our 3 o'clock deadline.
Now, this is potentially the hardest thing of the day. We've got to lift it, this thing that I'm stood on. It's got to lift the dish. It's got to reverse into there. The trailer then comes in, a bit like a ballet. It all comes in, parks up at the side, comes forward, drops it on. We're into town, and we'll go and see everybody. Go and give them the pie they deserve.
Together, the dish and the ingredients weigh 2.5 tons. Almost the same as 19 baby elephants.
Go. Come on, baby. Whoa! Tilt. Hey, perfect. Up now, mate. Sit a bit. That's it. Slow, Knight, slow.
As we set off to the village an hour and a half late, our dish looks pretty precarious. So I'm just shutting my eyes and praying. By the time we arrive, quite a crowd have gathered, and you could cut the tension with a pastry knife as we try to get the pie safely off the trailer.
Right, mate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go on! Yes! Put it there, dude! Woo!
Before we go any further, we have to check the temperature of the meat. It needs to be at least 65 degrees or all our hard work will have been for nothing.
69.3, so this is okay.
Phew. Now, for our pièce de résistance, the pastry.
Here we've got the first of the pastries. Whose is this, yours? What's your name? Harrison, hence the H. Oh, we've got 2 H's. Okay. Look at this one, farmy one. Right, we need to speed up with this, don't we? Whoa! It's from Anna.
I can't quite believe how much effort the locals have gone to with the pastry. The response has been amazing.
It's a pie on the truck with my name.
Think carefully, Isaac. Go on, Isaac.
Yay! Looking good.
The crust is complete. Time to thank the villagers for all their hard work by dishing out my pie.
Wow, look at this.
Made to the original Victorian recipe and served with a super-sized antique spoon.
Look.
Give it a good stir. Bit of pastry.
And I'll take that.
It's lovely, really, really tasty.
I've got 200 portions of this pie to dish up, so I'm hoping it gets the Denby Dale seal of approval.
We'll never have anything like this ever again because there's just so many different things in here, and it's just beautifully cooked.
Going down well anyway.
So pleased to have achieved this challenge. But,
brilliant.
Listen, it's not about this, and it ain't about this. It's about this. Ain't it, folks? Yes, here it is. Cheers. What an achievement.
Who'd have thought that a 2-ton pie could have brought together a community in such a brilliant way? And to boot, it's mission accomplished. We've rewritten history by finally making a successful pie to commemorate Queen Victoria's Jubilee. Job done. For the next leg of my culinary tour, I've driven 70 miles from Denby Dale to Liverpool. I'm not here for the city of culture. My mission is to change the eating habits of the locals. I'm here to prepare a once-loved local dish that has fallen from favour. Now, when I say fallen, I mean crashed. Almost no one eats it anymore, and when you suggest they do, they run a mile. And I don't know what's up with them. What's wrong with a nice, chewy bit of boiled cow's stomach? Big Jessie's. In the early 20th century, every northern town had shops and restaurants devoted to tripe. But in the late 50s, as other meats got cheaper and more available, tripe all but disappeared from northern menus. I want to try and change that by cooking it in such a tasty way that the people of Liverpool will fall in love with it all over again. To find out just how far tripe has sunk in the locals' estimation, I've headed into the city centre armed with a plate of it. And a winning smile.
Tripe, anybody? Cow's stomach and raw tripe?
Oh no, thank you.
Are you sure? Giving it away.
I don't think you can.
I can see you're all over it.
God, I dare you. No, I'm not doing it.
Are you going to try one?
What is it?
The dog says yes. Oh no, he says no.
So, it seems like I've got quite a task on my hands, persuading the good folk of Liverpool that it's all right to like tripe. Before I cook anything though, I'm headed to meet Peter, a tripe dresser who's been in the business for over 40 years. He's going to give me a lesson in preparing the stuff.
Peter?
Nice to meet you.
Sure. How's it
How
going?
are you? Not so bad, mate.
I like to follow everything, all the origins, all to where they come from. You know, because it's a byproduct.
You might think of it as a byproduct, but it's a major foodstuff. It's referred to as the fifth quarter. The animal cuts into 4 quarters, and the offal is the 5th quarter. And since we joined the European Union and the pound's weakened a little bit, the price of tripe has shot up in this country because of the demand from the rest of the continent and, of course, from Asia.
Honeycomb tripe is a bestseller. People across Europe can't get enough of it. I can't tell you just how hot and humid this room is, and the smell is, well, less than appetising.
It's the aroma, Peter.
This is halfway through the cooking process. We boil it for a couple of hours, and this has been on the go for about an hour.
Oh my giddy ass. In fact, they look like ladies' swimming hats from the 1970s. So what happens after this?
We cool it down, and then we bleach it.
OK.
So we use bleach to make it white.
And the demand is it needs to be white?
Yes.
The tripe gets bleached in an oxidising agent and then scraped with a knife and chopped up. The final part of the process.
So how much a week would you say you got through?
At the moment, we're doing about 4 tonnes. You go back to the late 80s, we were probably doing nearer 40 tonnes. We had, I think, 16 vans on the road every day.
Wow, 40 tonnes a week.
You used to see queues outside the tripe shops and the tripe stalls in Manchester. An average tripe stall would probably take, in the middle of summer, could take half a tonne a week on its own.
That's what people are after. Nice layer of jelly there. Gives it its texture.
The best way you can describe the texture of this, I think, it's like a cooked mushroom.
What, like a tinned mushroom?
Yeah.
That's what it's like. Yeah. Is it a delicacy in your household in this stage?
I eat it.
Yeah?
Constantly. It's lovely.
He's a bigger man than me.
You're better with a bit of vinegar on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, I can't man up enough to do that. Sorry, folks. You put me to shame, Peter.
Tripe aficionado Peter has given me the lowdown on the great northern tripe industry. He's also given me some to take away, which I'm going to cook up in a bid to persuade the people of Liverpool to put tripe back on the menu. Wish me luck.
Now, first of all, we're not calling it tripe, OK? We're going to call this tripe food. But that's the honeycomb tripe that we picked up from Peter today. We've got dipping sauces, we've got garlic, we've got egg, we've got breadcrumbs, we've got everything to hide the flavours, OK? So, goes in there, goes in there, goes in there, goes in there.
The dish is very simple, so it's not long before there's a tester batch ready and waiting.
Now, I suppose the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm getting the garlic, I'm getting the breadcrumbs, and I'm getting the dipping sauce. Job's done. I'm telling you, job's done.
Now we just have to persuade the Liverpudlians that we've got a hit on our hands.
Who's first? There you go, sweetheart. Enjoy. Tell us what you think.
Really nice. Real nice.
And from there, things just get better and better.
Beautiful, lovely soft texture. Batter's nice.
Very nice. Lovely.
But will they still be satisfied customers when I reveal the terrible truth?
Right.
It's not, is it? Well, a surprise. Used to be a butcher as well. It was very nice indeed, though.
My secret is out, and the challenge now is to see if people will still eat it.
Come and get your lovely tripe. It's only cow's stomach. What's up with you? You're very welcome. You're just taking it, really? We can sell Liverpool tripe.
This is tripe now.
Yeah. This is not what I expected. People of Liverpool, awesome.
But this is lovely.
The great tripe challenge is over, and it's time to take stock.
I think this meal's gone down perfectly. They love it, OK? And if you at home want the recipe, check us out.
Next time, I wrestle with a massive Cumberland sausage.
It's all gone a bit bonkers!
Take a dip in Lancaster. Open a fast food joint in Middlesbrough.
Let's open for business.
And get hot under the collar in a Georgian kitchen.
This is getting a little bit heavy now.